In my last video, I promised you that I was going to show you some sweet frickin' knives today, and I'm going to hold true. This first one has a lot of competition, and it's incredible that it still stands out. And this one is the Quiet Carry Drifts in Vanax Super Clean. Now wait, I know what your first thought is. If you've never felt this knife before, or seen it in person, you're going to be thinking, what makes that so special? From what I've seen just on first impressions and spending maybe 30 minutes with this knife, this thing's amazing. So not only is this Vanax Super Clean, which is like one of the most super steel of super steels, right? We have this titanium frame lock. On this side, there is no texturing. We have this wire clip that I really don't like wire clips, but this is one that doesn't cause me any issues. In hand, it feels really good. In the choked up position, despite being a little bit smaller, this feels pretty good. This blade stock is stupid thin. For the review, I'll make sure I measure it, but good lord, is this some thin blade stock. They did something really cool for the lanyard hole here. They only punched it through one side, opened up the back spacer, and said, hey, grab it right here so we're not gonna mess with your show side at all. Talk about the perfect solution. I always said the post and the back spacer was the best. I kind of been leaning towards this is the best solution. You don't mess with the show side, but you are giving the lanyard guys something a little bit more substantial to hang on to and larger to slip that lanyard through. Take a look at this milled titanium. It's like lines, but then there's lines going the other way. Oh, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Rather than putting a screw on either side, what they ended up doing was they kind of made the Chicago fitting similar to some of the hinderers, where it's just this tube that goes through and then the screw comes up through the bottom. So I'm about to show you something that's gonna make you poop your pants. Go get your diapers on. Would you guys look at this? This is a super thin knife, and they were able to still mill out the inside of the scales. So not only is it thin, it's extra light. They made this blade stock so damn thin with a Vanax Super Clean that's gonna hold its edge pretty damn well. This knife is just amazing to me. Perspectively, here is your Benchmade bug out versus how thin this knife actually is. Another relatively thin knife is the TRM Atom, and it's still much thinner than that. I see why this is such an amazing knife. Look at that. Oh my goodness, just wicked. Absolutely wicked slicey. This thing is incredible. For a size reference, here it is up against your Para 3 and your Techno 2. Now let me be the first to say, it does feel like a small knife, but when you look at the reality of it, it's no smaller than the Para 3. And you know what's weird? Is I got another knife in that even blew me away more. And that is the Marfione Custom Sigil. This is a beautifully shaped Warncliffe, but it's a similar Warncliffe to, say, the Kershaw Bare Knuckle in that it does have a slight upsweep to it. It might be considered more of a sheep's foot despite kind of looking more of a Warncliffe than a sheep's foot. In hand, it actually feels amazing at this point. This choke-up point's not really a choke-up point. It's a little bit too small, it's a little bit too pokey on the flipper tab. And this jimping definitely is aggressive and locks you in. Look at all this intricate detail on the lock bar side. Oh my gosh, and then we got these pivot covers that are made out of carbon fiber. Holy smokes! The lock bar side is actually more intricate than the show side. And then it's got this distressed apocalyptic finish that is just out of this world. So the reason that this speaks to me and totally blows me away, more so than I would have ever imagined, is that my very first Marfione Custom was the Marfione Custom Troodon. I won that in a raffle, just stupid luckily, right? And I wasn't impressed. I was like, what? Huh? And honestly, I think that Troodon was going for around $1,300. This knife's ranging in between $750 and $1,200, so this is coming in at less. And this is way more impressive than that Troodon was. The inside of the scales are milled out. There's all this extra detail going into it. The backspacer just looks so cool. And it's just this aggressive monster that, yeah, the lock bar's tight, but the action is pretty damn good. This is a knife that I thought I was going to catch and release, and I'm not sure that I can ever let this thing go. This and the Quiet Carry Drift are just, they blow my mind. These two knives left me absolutely speechless. In the comments below, I want you to tell me which knives left you speechless that you've experienced that you weren't expecting. It's such an awesome feeling. If you guys haven't yet, check out this video. I show the knives that I offloaded in order to get all these new knives in. Some had to go. Check out which ones we let go in order to make this happen.